Hey guys, this is Mr. Bell, Mr. Bell's Math. Today we're going to be talking about the area of polygons. Okay, our essential question, or what I want you to know by the end of the video, is how can you find the area of a polygon by breaking it into simpler shapes? Alright, so let's look. All we can do with this one is just look at examples. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at examples, and here's the first one. The first example, I have a rectangular type shape. Let's go ahead and just I got this rectangle shape, and then I got this triangular shape, okay? And we got to find the total area of this shape because I can't just multiply all these numbers together or add all these numbers together because that's not going to give me the area, okay? What I have to do is find the area of this triangle, okay? Find the area of the triangle, and then find the area of the rectangle. And then, it's two steps. I have to add it together. I got to add it together. Okay? So, that's what we're going to do. That's exactly what we're going to do. So, let's get rid of all this extra stuff that I have here. So, the first thing I want to do is break it into two smaller pieces. Alright? Two smaller pieces so I can identify which one's which and be able to find the area of each. Alright? So, I've already highlighted that. So I have a triangle and I have a rectangle. So then I want to identify the formula for area of a triangle equals 1/2 times the base times the height, and then the area of a rectangle, area equals just plain base times height. Okay, and that is a height. So then I just got to plug in my numbers. Area equals 1/2 the base. All right, so I don't have a base there. Okay, I don't have a height on my triangle. What am I going to do? Alright, so I got to use these other numbers to try to figure out what I know. Alright, so I know the length of this whole side here is 13 centimeters. Alright, and based on this side here, I know from here to here is 7. So I can use this information to find this length. Because if this whole side is 13 and from here to here is 7, I know the difference, meaning I subtract 7 from 13. That's going to give me this balance here. So that tells me that this short length, or the height of this triangle, is 5 centimeters. Okay? Now I need to figure out this length here. Alright? This length here. And this is going to be my base. So once again, I know that this length here is 16 centimeters. And I know that this length here is 8 centimeters. And the reason why I know how I can figure this out is because this length and this length are the exact same. Alright? So if I know the part of this, then I can easily figure out the rest of it just by subtracting this number from this number. So 8 from 16 leaves me 8. So that tells me that the length of the base is 8 centimeters. Alright, so now all I have to do is plug in my numbers. The base, alright, I'm going to multiply times 8, and then I'm going to multiply times the height, which is 5. So 1/2 times 8 is 4, times 5. So my area of just a triangle is 20 centimeters squared. Now, for the rectangle, it's easy. I got 7, and I got 16. Length times width, base times height. Area equals 7 times 16. Alright, and that's not one that I know off the top of my head. So let's just come down here. 16 times 7. 7 times 6 is 42. Carry the 4. 7 times 1 is 7. Plus 4 is 11. So the area of the rectangle is 112 centimeters squared. But like I said, that's just the triangle, and that's just a rectangle. Alright, so we got to combine these by adding them together. 20 plus 112. That tells me the combined area is going to be 132 centimeters squared. Alright, next shape. Okay, so here I got this odd little shape. You can do this a couple different ways. What I think is probably the best way is just to divide this into two small rectangles. because rectangles are real easy. So I have area equals base times height. And then for the second rectangle, area equals base times height. So I know this distance here is 20 feet. I got to figure out what this distance here is. Okay, so I know the whole thing once again is 60, and then I know from here to here, or here to here, is 30. So that tells me this distance is going to be 60 minus 30, which is 30. So the area of my first rectangle, or the dimensions of my first rectangle, is area equals 20 times 30. Okay? And then this one's going to be easy. I got 30, and I got 60. Area equals 30 times 60. Okay? So area equals 20 times 30. This is an easy multiply. You just multiply 2 times 3 and add 2 zeros to it. So 600, and that would be feet squared. And this area is the same thing. Multiply the two numbers above 0 and add 2 zeros to it. So 3 times 6 is 18, and 2 zeros, 1800 feet squared. So now I got to add 600 plus 1800, and that gives me 2400 feet squared. All right. Next slide. All right, same thing. We got an odd shape. We got to come up with. That's how I'm going to divide it. Okay, so I got this rectangle here. And then I have this rectangle here. Okay, so let's do that big rectangle first. Area equals base times height. And then the other rectangle is area equals base times height. Alright, so let's do the big one. Easy enough. I got a dimension of 4 right there, and I got a dimension of 8 right there. Area equals 4 times 8. So my area of that bigger rectangle is 32 meters squared. The smaller rectangle, well, I don't know this dimension, but I do know this dimension is 6. So I know I got area equals 6 times something. I got to figure out where this length here is. So if this whole length is 8, and I know this is 3, and this is 3, so 3 plus 3 is 6, and then that tells me this dimension has to be 2. So 6 times 2. Area equals 6 times 2 is 12 meters squared. So I take 32 plus 12, and that gives me 44 meters squared. All right, last one. Now this one's a little bit trickier. Okay, we got more shapes going on here. All right, so I can divide this into a square. Okay, but then I got this over here. I got to divide this right there. All right, so we need to use that information to come up with our dimensions. All right, so I have the area of a square, which is a rectangle, so I can say area equals base times height. I have another rectangle, area equals base times height. And then I have a triangle, area equals 1/2 base times height. Okay, so let's deal with this one here first. Okay, so 18 inches and 18 inches, easy enough. Area equals 18 times 18. Okay, this rectangle here, I got this whole dimension is 18 inches. Okay, but just this portion here, just this portion is 9 inches. So that tells me that if I subtract 9 from 18, that means this portion here is 9 inches. So I got 9 for that dimension. And then this entire thing here is 36 inches. Well, if this much of it is 18, that tells me the balance is also 18. So 9 times 18 will give me that rectangle right here. Alright? And the last one is going to be this triangle. Okay, I already know that this is 9. Alright, so that's the height. And I just decided that this here is 18. So that's going to tell me that this here is also 18. Okay, so I got area equals 1/2 times 9 times 18. Alright, so let's go ahead and figure this stuff out. So area equals 18 times 18. Let's go ahead and do that one first. So 18 times 18 is 324. So area equals 324 inches squared. Alright, 9 times 18 on the other hand is 162. Make sure we put that in the right color. Area equals 162 inches squared. And then finally the last one, 1/2 times 9 times 18. I can say 1/2 times 18, which will give me 9, and then 9 times 9 is 81. So I'm going to do that in blue. Area equals 81 inches squared. So now I got to combine all these numbers and come up with a total. So 324 plus 162 plus 81 is going to give me my total. 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, 2 plus 6 is 8, plus 8 is 16, and then 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So 567 inches squared is my total dimension for that.